This is wrestling's greatest moments.
Hey now, wrestling fans. It's time for another episode of Wrestling's Greatest Moments. Wrestling fans have seen many incredible moments in the squared circle, but there are also many paths wrestlers might have taken had circumstances been different. Sit back as Wrestling's Greatest Moments looks at What If Magnum T.A. Didn't Have His Car Crash, Part 2. Before we get started though, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single video. Time marches on. In this parallel world, Magnum T.A. never had his career-ending automobile accident on October 14, 1986. Instead, Magnum's career continued to grow after he regained the United States Championship from Nikita Koloff at Starrcade in 1986. 1987 began with Magnum and Dusty Rhodes' former ally Dick Murdoch turning heel after he was attacked by the Russians, Ivan Koloff, Nikita Koloff, and Crusher Khrushchev. Murdoch blames both babyfaces for not helping him even though they weren't in the building. This led to Murdoch taking Magnum out with a brainbuster on the cement, similar to what Murdoch did to Nikita Koloff in our world. Undaunted, Magnum teamed with Dusty Rhodes to win the inaugural Crockett Cup, and he helps Dusty and the Road Warriors battle the Four Horsemen in the first ever War Games match. Unfortunately, Magnum's neck is still injured when he defends his United States Championship against Lex Luger, and the total package capitalizes, targeting Magnum's neck and winning the match. Afterward, Dick Murdoch runs in to finish the job, delivering another brainbuster. Magnum is stretchered out as fans wonder if Magnum's career is over. Things look grim as announcers Tony Schiavone and David Crockett tell the fans that doctors are advising Magnum to retire. Magnum cuts a promo from home, complete with neck brace, where he tells fans he's doing everything he can to come back, despite the doctor's warnings about what could happen. Meanwhile, Dick Murdoch is gloating about knocking Magnum out of wrestling for good. Dusty Rhodes confronts Murdoch, only for the Four Horsemen to capitalize on the opportunity, delivering a beatdown to the American Dream. Jimmy and Ron Garvin make the save as Ron Garvin challenges Murdoch to a match. Ron Garvin meets Dick Murdoch at various house shows in August, while fans flood the Superstation with get-well cards for Magnum. Fans are in for a treat when Ron Garvin meets Dick Murdoch in a match on an episode of World Championship Wrestling. The match is going Garvin's way, and the fans are loving every minute of it, as Hands of Stone dishes out punishment in revenge for Murdoch injuring Magnum. Seeing he's in deep trouble, Murdoch rakes the eyes and throws Garvin over the top rope. Garvin lands hard, and Murdoch goes to hit a brainbuster. The fans scream and shout as they watch Magnum T.A. run out to make the save. Magnum is wearing a neck brace, but that's not slowing him down as he unloads with haymakers on Murdoch, knocking him senseless. Preliminary wrestlers race out to break things up, but Murdoch and Magnum send them flying. Finally, other wrestlers, including Jimmy Garvin, the Rock and Roll Express, Barry Windham, and Boogie Woogie Man Jimmy Valiant lend a hand, restoring a modicum of order. Tony Schiavone and David Crockett interview Magnum, who tells them he's back, and he has one goal in mind: getting payback from Dick Murdoch. Magnum says he doesn't care where or when, he doesn't care what kind of match, cage match, Texas bull rope match, he'll even get up on the scaffold if it means getting his hands on Murdoch. Magnum's challenge is answered the next week when Tony Schiavone interviews Dick Murdoch. For some reason, Murdoch is surrounded by the Four Horsemen's Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and Lex Luger. The Horsemen's executive director, James J. Dillon, explains he knows Magnum T.A. would love to jump Murdoch, and knowing what a coward Magnum is, he won't be alone. This show of support means Murdoch can speak freely without worrying about being jumped by Magnum's equally yellow friends, Dusty Rhodes, Ricky Morton, or Barry Windham. Murdoch tells Tony Schiavone that Magnum should have stayed home. He already dropped Magnum on his head twice before. What does he think will happen the third time? Murdoch laughs and tells Magnum if he wants this match badly enough, he'll give it. Since he's talking a stipulation, he'll start by making this a Texas street fight. He's also got another stipulation that will guarantee the fans will never see Magnum for a long time. Loser leaves town. Fans don't have to wait long as Magnum shows up later in the show. He tells Murdoch if he wants a loser leaves town match, he's happy to send Murdoch packing. David Crockett tells Magnum he's already talked to his brother, promoter Jim Crockett Jr., and the match will be arranged. The match is booked for the Greensboro Coliseum on September 12, 1987. There's a lot going on in Jim Crockett Promotions, as Ron Garvin has set his sights on Ric Flair's NWA World Heavyweight Championship. However, the match, scheduled for September 25th, is postponed after Garvin is attacked at the parking lot at TBS Studios on Techwood Drive. Jimmy Garvin later appears on the Superstation, sharing his brother's story with them. Ron Garvin recalls walking to his car when he saw stars and someone with blonde hair. Doctors say Garvin has a neck injury and may have been pile-driven on the parking lot. Whatever the case, he won't be able to wrestle Flair and could be out for several months. While all fingers point to Ric Flair, the Nature Boy was seen by various wrestlers at the TBS studio, including babyfaces and heels. There's a cloud of suspicion hanging over Slick Rick, but no action can be taken. Of course, this is secondary to the match the fans are waiting to see: Magnum T.A. versus Dick Murdoch. And the 2 weeks leading up to the match, Murdoch injures opponents George South and Ricky Nelson, an obvious warning to Magnum and his fans about what to expect. Finally, the match is held at one of Jim Crockett Promotions' most distinguished venues, the Greensboro Coliseum. The main event features senior official Tommy Young refereeing the bout. Both wrestlers work the match in their street clothes, and the fans know what to expect. At least they think they do. Magnum wears a neck brace when he enters the ring, but he yanks it off, throwing it into the crowd. The match is action-packed from start to finish, with few technical moves. The bout sees brawling in and out of the ring, and within 5 minutes, both men are busted open. Murdoch goes for a brainbuster on the cement, but Magnum blocks it and suplexes Murdoch. Magnum goes to throw Murdoch into the ring, only to be attacked by Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. What are the Four Horsemen doing here? Already weakened by his battle with Murdoch, Magnum is in no position to fight off both horsemen. Arn and Tully set Magnum up for a spike piledriver on the cement. However, Dusty Rhodes and Barry Windham make the save. Dusty and Barry pummel Anderson and Blanchard while Magnum gets back to his feet. The Horsemen live to fight another day as Magnum grabs Dick Murdoch, throwing him into the ring. Murdoch stomps Magnum when he enters the ring, but Magnum is a proverbial house of fire and ignores this. Magnum peppers Murdoch with punches and throws him into the ropes. A belly-to-belly suplex plants Murdoch in the mat, and Magnum covers them for the 1-2-3. Tommy Young raises Magnum's hand as Barry Windham and Dusty Rhodes congratulate him. It's a celebration the next week on World Championship Wrestling as Tony Schiavone and David Crockett show highlights from the match. Magnum says he did what he said he was going to do, and now he has another goal. He's setting his sights on regaining the United States Championship and eventually winning the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Later in the show, James J. Dillon is at U.S. Champion Lex Luger's side for an interview. David Crockett asks Lex and JJ about Magnum's challenge. The Horsemen's executive director chuckles, but suddenly his face turns pale. Dick Murdoch is here. David Crockett is shocked and says Murdoch shouldn't be here. Murdoch says he's not here to make trouble. In fact, he congratulates Magnum on winning and says Magnum was a better man that night. He's here to set the record straight. James J. Dillon tells Murdoch this isn't the place or the time. Murdoch tells Dillon to shut up. He points at Luger, telling the total package he'll drop him on his head if he so much as blinks. Murdoch tells Schiavone and Crockett that the first time he dropped Magnum on his head, it was personal. The second time, though, was business. Dillon paid him off to take Magnum out because he was getting too close to beating Ric Flair. He did the same thing with Ron Garvin. The Horsemen were supposed to take care of Magnum in the Loser Leaves Town match, and they came up short. Dillon tells Murdoch that he came up short, that he managed to lose to Magnum despite Arn and Tully's help. JJ badmouths Murdoch, calling him a has-been. Murdoch slugs Dillon and goes after Luger when he steps in. Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and Ric Flair run in, taking out Murdoch and stomping away. The Horsemen waste no time, with Arn and Tully hitting Murdoch with a spike piledriver on the studio floor before a small army of babyfaces show up. World Championship Wrestling goes off the air as fans try to take everything in. Fans are eager to see what's next when they tune into the Superstation the following week. The show begins with a clip of Murdoch's revelation and subsequent beatdown at the hands of the Horsemen. Tony Schiavone and David Crockett tell the fans that Murdoch was injured, but he's also still suspended for 1 year due to the Loser Leaves Town stipulation. NWA President Jim Crockett Jr. has suspended the Four Horsemen pending further investigation. Magnum T.A. and Dusty Rhodes team up later on in the show to take on Shaska Whatley and Tiger Conway Jr. After winning the match, Dusty Rhodes tells Schiavone and Crockett that Dick Murdoch had to answer for his sins. However, their history runs deep, and there's a day of reckoning coming for the Horsemen, courtesy of the American Dream. Magnum adds that he didn't like what Murdoch did to him, but he respects him a little bit for coming clean. In the meantime, he's committed more than ever to closing in on the Horsemen. Dusty says he's coming for Luger's United States Championship, while Magnum is coming for Flair's world title. Magnum reveals he's already spoken with Ron Garvin, and Hands of Stone told him to take his spot while he recovers. David Crockett says all 4 horsemen are suspended, and may be for quite a while once the investigation concludes. Dusty and Magnum tell the 2 announcers that the only way to really punish a horseman is in the ring, which is why they're asking the fans to write to Jim Crockett Jr. and demand the Horsemen be reinstated and that they be forced to defend their titles. Will the fans help out Dusty and Magnum? And more importantly, will Jim Crockett Jr. reinstate the Horsemen? What's next for Magnum T.A. in this parallel universe? And when, if ever, will Magnum capture the NWA World Heavyweight Championship? Check back for part 3 of What If Magnum T.A. Didn't Have His Car Accident? What do you think of this case of What If? Share your thoughts in the comment section and let us know if there's any videos you'd like Wrestling's Greatest Moments to cover. In the meantime, subscribe to our channel, follow us on X and Instagram, and spread the good news about Wrestling's Greatest Moments, the channel that celebrates the squared circle.